Hello students, in this video we will see electroplating of chromium, electroless plating, advantages of electroless plating, difference between electroplating and electroless plating, and then electroless plating of copper and nickel. Before plating any metal over the surface of base metal, the impurity present on the surface of the base metal should be completely removed. The most commonly used methods in the cleaning of this base metal are like this. Dirt, oil, grease which are present on the surface of the metal removed by washing the metal surface with organic solvents like 1,1,1 trichloroethane and perchloroethylene. Nowadays 1,1,1 trichloroethane and perchloroethylene have been replaced by petroleum-based non-toxic spirit. All surfaces can also be cleaned by more cheaper and less hazardous method by treating the article with hot solution of alkalis like sodium hydroxide or sodium carbonate. The oxide layer, that is rust present on the surface of the metal, removed by washing with dilute sulfuric acid at 65 to 90 degrees Celsius for about 5 minutes. Dilute sulfuric acid removes the rust present on the surface of the metal. Finally, the article is rinsed with hot distilled water and then it is dried. Electroplating of chromium. During electroplating of chromium, the impurity present on the metal surface should be removed. How it can be removed? Dirt, oil, grease present on the surface removed by washing with organic solvents. Alkali solutions like sodium hydroxide, sodium carbonate can also be used to remove the organic impurities present on the metal surface. The oxide layer present on the surface of the metal is removed by washing with the dilute sulfuric acid, and this process is called pickling. Finally, the article is rinsed with the distilled water and dried. There are two types of chromium plating: decorative chromium plating and hard chromium plating. In case of decorative chromium plating, the thickness of the coating will be 0.25 to 0.75 micrometer, and in case of hard chromium plating, the thickness will be 2.5 to 300 micrometer. Decorative chromium coating exhibit corrosion resistance, pleasing look and high optical reflectivity. Hard chromium plating exhibit strong, hard and durable coating to the metal surface. In decorative chromium and hard chromium plating, the plating bath contains chromic acid and sulfuric acid mixture in the ratio 100:1. 1 gram of trivalent chromium is also added to that. Operating temperature in both the cases is same, that is 45 to 55 degrees Celsius. Current density maintained during decorative chromium plating is 145 to 430 amperes per feet square, and in case of hard chromium plating, high current density of 290 to 580 amperes per feet square is applied. Current efficiency in case of decorative chromium plating is 10 to 15%, and in case of hard chromium plating is 17 to 21%. Current efficiency means out of total current passed, how much current is used during electroplating. The anode used in both the cases is same, that is lead tin or lead antimony coated with lead dioxide. Cathode is object to be plated. Decorative chromium coating is applied on cycles, automobiles, furniture, household fittings, aircraft, surgical and dental instruments to give bright and decorative look and also to prevent corrosion. Hard chromium coating is applied on industrial components like gauges, dies, cutting tools, piston rings, cylinder liners, aircraft landing parts, etc. to impart surface hardness and wear resistance. The reactions that takes place during electroplating of chromium are like this. Here, chromium trioxide reacts with water to give chromic acid. Two molecules of chromic acid reacts to give dihydrogen dichromate and water molecules. Dihydrogen dichromate undergoes dissociation to give dichromate ion and 2H plus ions. Dichromate ion then reacts with H plus ions and 6 electrons, giving chromium plus 3 plus 7 water molecules. This reaction is catalyzed by the sulfate ions of the sulfuric acid. Here chromium plus 6 is reduced to chromium plus 3. The chromium plus 3 ions then moves towards cathode, where it undergoes reduction to give elemental chromium. The elemental chromium deposits on the surface of the cathode. Here, the amount of Cr plus 3 ions should be restricted in order to get a good electrode deposit. Insoluble anodes like lead antimony or lead tin alloys covered with a layer of lead dioxide will oxidize Cr plus 3 to Cr plus 6 and thereby control the concentration of Cr plus 3 ions in the solution. In chromium plating, chromium anodes are not used. This is because chromium passivates strongly in acid sulfate medium. That means it becomes passive. Chromium metal becomes passive in sulfuric acid medium, and if we use chromium as anode, then chromium undergoes dissolution as Cr plus 3 ions. In this case, concentration of Cr plus 3 ions in the solution increases and a black or burnt deposit is obtained. Chromium coatings are generally porous in nature. Therefore, on increasing the thickness of coating, cracks develop in coatings. Thus, chromium coatings are given with nickel or nickel copper undercoat for better protection and to provide bright coating to the metal. Substrates like plastics, aluminium and copper alloys are electrodeposited with nickel before chromium plating. Stainless steel is the only substrate that is plated directly with chromium. Before electrolysis plating, the article to be subjected to pre-treatment. In case of conducting materials like metals and alloys, the surface of the material is cleaned with organic solvents, dilute sulfuric acid and finally with distilled water, and then it is dried. The surface of the object is made catalytically active if the material is not catalytically active. Aluminium, iron, copper, brass do not require any surface activation. These metals catalyze the redox reaction that takes place during electrolysis plating. So in these cases, electrolysis plating is autocatalytic. In case of non-catalytic materials, surface activation is required. In case of stainless steel, the surface of stainless steel is activated by dipping in 1:1 sulfuric acid. Magnesium and its alloys are activated by coating a thin layer of copper and zinc. Copper and zinc here catalyze the redox reaction. In case of non-conducting materials like plastics, glass and printed circuit boards, surface activation is done by dipping the article in a solution of stannous chloride containing hydrochloric acid followed by palladium chloride and hydrochloric acid. Here stannous chloride reduces palladium ions to deposit small amount of palladium metal on the surface of the material, which catalyzes the redox reaction that takes place during electrolysis plating. So in case of catalytically active metals, surface activation is not required, whereas in case of non-catalytic metals, surface activation is required. Non-conducting materials are activated by dipping in a solution of stannous chloride and HCl. After rinsing, it should be dipped in palladium chloride and HCl solution. So here the coated palladium itself catalyzes the redox reaction. Electrolysis plating. What is electrolysis plating? It's a method of depositing a metal over a substrate. It can be conductor or non-conductor by controlled chemical reduction of the metal ions using suitable reducing agent without using electrical energy. During electrolysis plating, the surface of the substrate should be catalytically active. In case of non-catalytic metals, the surface is made catalytically active by dipping in a solution of palladium chloride and HCl. In case of non-conductors, how to make non-conductors catalytically active? In that case, the surface is made catalytically active by first dipping in a solution of stannous chloride and HCl and then in palladium chloride and HCl solution. In case of electrolysis plating, the substrate is dipped in metal salt solution to which reducing agent is added. The reducing agent added undergoes oxidation on the surface of the substrate providing electrons. Here we can see reducing agent undergoes oxidation providing electrons. The metal ions moves towards the vicinity of the catalytically active surface of the substrate and takes up those electrons provided by the reducing agent to form metal atoms. The metal atoms formed get deposited on the surface of the substrate. So the substrate is coated with the metal without using electrical energy. Here both the reaction takes place on the surface of the catalytically active substrate. What are the advantages of electrolysis plating? In case of electrolysis plating, use of electrical power and electrical contacts are not required. Semiconductors and insulators like plastic can also be plated, whereas electroplating is applicable only to conductors. Electrolysis baths have better throwing power and uniform deposit obtained on article of irregular shape and inner parts of the tubes. In case of electrolysis plating, hydrogen gas is not trapped in line holes. The coating obtained in case of electrolysis plating is harder than that produced by conventional electroplating, so it provides corrosion resistance. In case of electrolysis plating, levelers are not required because catalytically active surface of the substrate attracts metal ions equally, so uniform deposit is obtained everywhere. The deposit obtained in case of electrolysis plating have unique chemical, mechanical and magnetic properties. We will see some of the important differences between electroplating and electrolysis plating. The driving force in case of electroplating is direct current, that is power supply, and in case of electrolysis plating is autocatalytic redox reaction. Here, the surface of the substrate itself catalyzes the redox reaction, or it can be made catalytically active by depositing some other metal over it, so that will catalyze the redox reaction. Cathode reaction in case of electroplating is a reduction of metal ions to form metal atoms, and in case of electrolysis plating also it's the reduction of metal ions to form metal atoms. Anodic reaction in case of electroplating is oxidation of metal. If the anode is made up of coating metal, oxidation of metal takes place, providing metal ions for the coating. Or if the anode is made up of inert electrode, then it is the liberation of oxygen taking place at the surface of anode. In case of electrolysis plating, the reducing agent undergoes oxidation, providing electrons for the reduction of metal ions. So, anodic reaction is oxidation of reducing agent. In case of electroplating, the site of cathode reaction is article to be plated, and in case of electrolysis plating, the site of cathode reaction is article to be plated, and that should have catalytic surface. Site of anode reaction in case of electroplating is separate anode, whereas in case of electrolysis plating it is the article to be plated. Here in case of electrolysis plating there is no separate anode and cathode. Anode reactant in case of electroplating is metal or water, whereas in case of electrolysis plating it is the reducing agent present in the solution. Nature of the deposit obtained in case of electroplating is pure metal or definite alloy, whereas in case of electrolysis plating usually the metal coated contaminated with oxidized product or a reducing agent. Electrolysis plating is applicable to both conductors as well as non-conductors, whereas electroplating is applicable only to conductors. So these are the differences between electroplating and electrolysis plating. For electroplating, power supply is essential, whereas electrolysis plating takes place without the use of electrical power. Electrolysis plating of copper. During electrolysis plating of copper, the surface to be plated is cleaned and made catalytically active. In case of catalytically active metals, surface activation is not necessary, whereas conductors which are not catalytically active, they are activated by dipping in palladium chloride and HCl. Whereas the non-conductors like glass, ceramic, plastic, etc. are activated by dipping first in stannous chloride and then dipping in palladium chloride solution and HCl to get a layer of palladium. The layer of palladium will make the surface of the substrate catalytically active. After making the surface of the substrate catalytically active, it is then dipped in plating bath. The plating bath composition is like this. It contains a solution of copper sulfate, that is 12 gram per liter, which provides copper ions during plating process. Then it contains formaldehyde, which is a reducing agent, 8 gram per liter. Then the plating bath also contains mixture of sodium hydroxide 15 gram per liter and Rochelle salt 14 gram per liter. So mixture of sodium hydroxide and Rochelle salt acts as a buffer in order to maintain constant pH. The plating bath also contains EDTA, which is a complexing agent and excitant, that is 20 gram per liter of the solution. EDTA, which is a complexing agent and excitant, that means the complexing agent will react with the metal ion to form complex compound, thereby reducing its concentration in the solution in order to get a thin and good deposit. Excitant will increase the rate of the reaction. The pH of the plating bath is maintained at 11 and temperature at 25 degrees Celsius. The reactions that takes place during electrolysis plating of copper are like this. The reducing agent formaldehyde reacts with the hydroxyl ions and undergoes oxidation, liberating electrons. This reaction takes place on the surface of the substrate and is the anodic reaction. The electrons released by the reducing agent are taken up by the metal ions and they undergo reduction to form metal atoms. This reaction also takes place on the surface of the substrate and this reaction is called cathodic reaction. The overall reaction can be written like this. The applications of electrolysis plating of copper is like this. It is used for plating non-conductors, for decorative plating on plastics and producing through-hole connections, and also plating printed circuit boards. One of the major application of electrolysis plating of copper is in the manufacture of printed circuit board. Using electrolysis plating of copper, double-sided printed circuit board can be prepared, where plating through holes are required, and that is possible only by the process of electrolysis plating. In this slide, we will discuss the various steps involved in making of PCB. Initially, plastic board is taken and that is made catalytically active and then dipped in electrolysis plating bath of copper, so that both the sides of the plastic board will be coated with the layer of copper. Then circuit pattern is drawn on the copper plated board with the etch resistant ink. On etching with the suitable etchant, the copper except below the circuit pattern is etched away, leaving only the circuit pattern. Then the connection between two sides of the board is made by drilling the hole, and then that hole is activated. After activating the hole is plated with the electrolysis copper by protecting the other areas. How electrolysis plating of nickel is carried out? During electrolysis plating of nickel, the surface is thoroughly cleaned and made catalytically active. The catalytically active substrate is then dipped in plating bath. The plating bath contains a solution of nickel chloride, that is 20 gram per liter. This nickel chloride provides nickel ions for the plating. Then it contains sodium hypophosphite 20 gram per liter, which is a reducing agent. Then it contains sodium acetate 10 gram per liter, which is the buffer which is added to maintain constant pH. Then the plating bath also contains sodium succinate 15 gram per liter, which is a complexing agent and excitant. Complexing agent will form complex compound with the metal ion, thereby reducing its concentration in the solution in order to get a thin and good coating. The excitant will increase the rate of the reaction. pH of the bath is maintained between 4 to 5 and temperature in between 73 to 93 degrees Celsius. During electrolysis plating of nickel, the reactions taking place are like this. The reducing agent sodium hypophosphite in the presence of water undergoes oxidation to form sodium hypophosphate, liberating electrons. So this is the anodic reaction and it takes place on the surface of the substrate. The electrons released by the reducing agent is taken up by the nickel ions, then it undergoes reduction to form nickel atoms. The nickel atoms deposits on the surface of the substrate. This is the cathodic reaction and this reaction also takes place on the surface of the substrate. The overall reaction is like this: nickel ions reacting with the sodium hypophosphite in presence of water to give nickel atoms and sodium hypophosphate releasing H plus ions. Because of the release of H plus ions, the pH decreases. In order to maintain constant pH, the buffer is added. The application of electroless plating of nickel is like this. It is used in the oil field to coat the walls in printing industry. It is also used for coating materials in food service equipments, plastic manufacturing industry, doorknobs, kitchen utensils, electrical and mechanical tools and office equipment, and also used as a coating in electronic printed circuit boards, in the manufacture of hard disk drive, and in automotive industry.